Greetings, I am Live.
And I am Scandal.
And
let's play a game together. Yes.
Let's see if they can possibly sort out this kerfuffle.
Yes.
Oh,
Brilliant.
look at that.
Oh my god.
We're not keeping them. We're not refurbishing them. We are committing fairy house destruction.
Woo!
We're gonna do
murder.
Murder those fairy houses, my bro.
I'm
Bye.
Bye.
Load in those fairy houses, bro.
Yeah.
Well, aren't you just all overgrown, little house? Guess that'll happen when you go a few decades without mowing the lawn.
Whoa.
You think no one's been to this garden in a couple of decades? Like
Whoa.
2 to 3 decades?
Wow.
Okay.
What?
If no one's been down here in 30 years, then your mom was down here like
By herself.
right before she moved out, and then never when she came back with you.
Yeah, and you never clearly saw any of these areas. Everything was completely run down, completely destroyed, even though Uncle Arthur got to see you when you were a babu.
I say, if you're 30-something, you're assuming he planted your tree and then never came back.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So
that's it.
3 decades of ignoring a few, which I understand a few can be 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just going to be like, this place hasn't been touched since you were 10 years old?
Right.
Whoa.
Hello.
Let's turn back that clock a little. Well, we can.
Perfect.
Oh, we're not going to be turning back the clock. You're going to be removing it. Some clock turning later. And stump removal.
Aha!
Yep, bye.
Goodbye.
Clock turning, meaning let's go back to when there was nothing here, even before that tree that made that stump, which is a lot more than 20 years ago.
Yes.
There! You look so surprised that everything is gone. Nature shall not reclaim thee, little house. Not this day. I shall destroy thee instead.
Ha! That's why you will never be claimed by nature. You will be destroyed instead by me.
I say thee nay. I shall crumble you and throw you into the compost.
Goodbye.
Wait, is that nature reclaiming you?
Yes.
Damn it. Oh.
Like, if that's where you're putting it, that's nature reclaiming. If you throw it away, that's also in some way nature reclaiming / adding to itself in
It's
a
at
way.
the junkyard now, instead of being reclaimed by nature in the landfill. Shit, still nature.
Which is also why microplastics suck. Anyway, boof! I am dog.
Now I shall repair thee.
Aha!
No, you won't.
Well, what?
Because
I am dog!
Because what you're going to do is remove the other 2 first, because I decree it.
Aha! Screw that!
Clearing the West Fairy House. Do not go into the West Fairy House.
Yes.
Well, we're going to clear it, won't we? Can you imagine Lily in, like, the Beast state in the cartoon Beauty and the Beast? I will go refurbish the West Wing!
Yes! Brilliant!
He walks in, instead of you look at the rose, you've redecorated everything.
I have
What
1 out of
room is
3
this?
options.
I think I came into the wrong room. Beast is instead very confused.
Hi.
Right. I'm glad I have the time to take care of them all. But
I was also going to point out really quickly, but did you notice the little itty bitty sliver? Today is going to be enormous.
I know, right?
Like,
today is going to be like 900 things. It's going to be hilarious.
Oh my god, this is huge.
Your pacing is a little bit wild. It's like sort of when they ramp up movies to solve everything in the last 10 minutes, so it just, every time they hit a plot point, it gets faster.
Oh my god, yes!
Alright, I can't believe these fairy houses are the last thing I have to do here. I mean, you chose to leave them till last. I complained about it, so that's your fault, Lily.
Right?
I mean, I think you're probably saying, I can't believe there is a last thing for me to do here. But you're specifying the fairy houses, and that's just your fault, Joe.
No.
Though, I suppose I can't do anything.
That is your process.
Until I get this overgrown mess cleared away.
Yes. Which is to say, goodbye!
A little overgrown mess clearing later.
Ooh.
I'm gonna just elaborate. Bye!
Bye.
I love the stump removal and refilling of the ground and everything every time.
Right.
Okay, Roxy, shall we get on with the rest of the renovations? We're not gonna rebuild this one, because the other one, she's like, we're gonna rebuild it.
Right.
Morph.
I'm dog.
I see.
Dog.
But with this one, we're not rebuilding it. We're gonna go and just do something else. No, not rest. I said the rest of... And she's asleep.
Time to kill the dog.
Whoa! We'll just refurbish it on top of the dog. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I clear the East Fairy House.
Yay!
Now the east wing of the lowest garden will be cleared.
Brilliant.
Yes. I wonder if Uncle Arthur really saw the fairies, or just believed they existed. I want the mice back.
Again, this is very much like so I linked it into one of our previous episodes where we mentioned this, but it is a particular movie. I actually had to look it up. It's called Fairy Tale. It was a movie in 1997 that I remember watching as a kid. My mom adored the shit out of it. Like, whoa.
And it's basically a semi-documentary of faking fairies?
Yeah.
Of historical
well,
fairy
I mean,
faking?
it's semi in that sense of going that it completely says that, oh yeah, they totally saw fairies. It was completely this thing. And yeah, no questions asked.
Alrighty, well then.
Morph. I am dog.
I just mean, wow, you woke up really fast. I mean, like, actually hallucinating fairies sounds stressful, to me anyway. It depends on how mischievous they are, I guess. Anyway, gotta get this thing cleaned up. I love people on TikTok that actually, basically, that understand, some cleaning later, the history of the Fae, and they're like, people inviting fairies into their house are being stupid. You do not invite the Fae folk into your house unless you want a very bad time.
That's like what they are!
Fairies are not about glitter and sparkles. They are vicious, powerful creatures that you can't communicate with.
I actually like
Just
one person.
leave glitter for them. Yep, fairies love glitter. Fake, plastic, artificial manufactured materials. Nature spirits love that.
Especially some of it where it's made out of metal.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
You know how they have severe allergies to metal? Just leave metal scraps and shiny things for
They have
them.
severe allergies to iron, but metal refined material I think makes sense. So
Anyway, they were just so pissed off.
It was really
They were
funny.
just like, you guys, oh my god, guys, if you understand this at all, could you just, like, park your caboose and learn a little, okay?
And then for some reason I am reminded of a book that I really liked growing up, and I am very sad that I don't have a copy, and it's called The Voyage of the Basset.
Okay.
And I believe it was done by James Gurney or James Christiansen. So there's a couple of them. They're very Mormon. But they were big parts of my household. Where it's along in that string of basically incredibly gorgeous paintings of fantastical things, like with Dinotopia, where James Gurney did Dinotopia, James Christiansen did like Voyage of the Basset. He did a lot of stuff like that were a lot like very Hieronymus Bosch looking.
So it sounds very, very pretty, but my brain is going, Voyage of the Basset! It's a giant swimming basset hound going across the ocean with people on its back. It sounds adorable.
That would be probably something he would have painted.
Yeah,
like that is exactly like up his alley. Like I will have to show you at some point, but if you can actually go look up some of the art for the I think it's James Christiansen. I cannot fucking remember. I apologize.
But you can look up the two names of like the books.
So fucking inspiring, and they're really fucking pretty. Like I don't know how, like they're just really charming. Like
all right.
Anyway.
Good. Just need to fix the house itself now. You can't fix it. You're gonna have to build it, dear.
Yeah, you're
just being honest here.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, build middle fairy house.
Middle?
We are barely walking through this day, and it's using a lot of stars. It's like this day will take you a long time. 3 stars.
Yeah, they do not want you to get done with this.
Not quickly. Let's get you fixed up, little house. So for anyone that might have ended up here and struggled to get through this day over several weeks, here you go.
You're so welcome.
I hope so. I'm not really an expert at fairy house construction, but I have to finish what I started.
That's why I got rid of the base and just did something completely unique and then went, oh god, what am I doing?
That's why I decided I didn't want to work with any structure or any,
like blueprint or map.
Yep, that one at all.
Previous
I owe
design.
Uncle Arthur that much.
Yay.
To start completely over. I know not what I'm doing. Pep. Holy crap, I love that.
That's really cute.
That is super cute. I don't know what I'm doing. So I went out to the store and I bought a big plastic hollow stump like they use in playgrounds, and then I built around that.
And then I wondered why, I was having such issues with plastics eating the ground. I'm fine. I understand. So the big thing about plastics that I have been frustrated about in regards to being a child that grew up over the years and was very much fed the experience of, recycling works. Recycling is great. And it's come out that really 90% of recycling, what was it, 90%, 98%? Like
somewhere 90+% of all plastics ever created have never been recycled since the invention of plastic.
And the thing is that, and companies knew this before they did it. Like, it was a thing where they're like, there are some things that we have the ability to potentially recycle, but we're so bad at it, and it is so cheap to just make new plastic.
And the recycled plastic isn't as good. So, like, some people did it at a loss because all recycling loses money of plastic. And it's just like, it's an
It's also-
interesting sort of basically expose, if you will, on the way marketing has handled plastic and what's actually been happening.
And that's one of the things where they talk about in relation to really try, like, I know it sucks. Keeping yourself informed can suck because you also go, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Because it's the thing that I was going to say, that it's also really frustrating because let's say you go down to the supermarket, and I don't know necessarily what it's like around all the world, because I know we have several viewers from around the world.
International viewers.
It's so cool. But here in the US, plastic is a huge part of the grocery experience.
It would be difficult to buy your groceries, your regular, if you buy any created products,
Right.
without buying any plastic.
Right. And the thing is even where you're like, well, I'll take stuff out of the plastic, right? So let's say, like, if you could, in some areas, take out the plastic and then them throw the plastic away. But that's the problem. The plastic still is there and still gets thrown away. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't do anything about it or, like, inform people or go, hey, by the way, this isn't actually what's going on. Like,
One of the nice things about it is that since the information is so readily available to worry everyone, it means it's more available than it's ever been before, which means there's more opportunity for more minds to interact with it to do something now.
right.
So let's put that hopeful view in place, because
Yes.
that actually makes me really happy. Because despite the fact that a lot of people are really stressed out with the influx of incredible amounts of distressing information, that information, while still existing before our generation, was not available to incredible amounts of very creative minds.
Yes.
And it is now available.
And they're working on it. Like, it's really cool that they're like, we've actually basically run across, or they've developed, I can't remember which one of the two, I apologize, bacteria that actually eat plastic. That's
they've
what they do.
discovered
And
it,
they've
as
also
far as I
got,
know.
like, fungus, I think, that do that as well. And it's so cool. Like, we've got opportunities to change things. It is a thing that we've got to work on, and it is going to happen. It's just, yeah, you just got to know where to look.
It's that sort of thing. If people are stressed out about stuff, but the stress is because there's change in information availability happening, which is change on the way.
Yes.
All done. So small. These things make me feel like Gulliver. Ha! Which I guess makes this place Lilliput.
Okay, that's sort of cute, but also fucked up considering the story of Gulliver's Travels.
I would say I don't
Whoa.
know that story very well. I was exposed to it in like tiny bursts with no context when I was very young. And so to me, all I ever remember is him being captured by tiny people and them roping him down everywhere.
Well,
That's
you
the
know.
only bit I ever remember, is 900,000 tiny people tying a giant person to the ground.
You know, and colonialism and all that. There's a lot of fun bullshit imagery in there.
Alright.
It's fun.
I can't believe no one was here to hear that one. You ignore Dog all the time. Dog
Constantly.
is listening.
Dog is also super, like, actual more than animal.
But yeah, each one of these costing 3 stars to do and only filling that tiny little portion of the day. Like, this day is very expensive.
This day is meant
Dog
to rip through stuff.
poofs back to sleep over there.
Uh-huh.
Like, your plot doesn't work. Okay, even if I press the buttons in exactly the order you presented them, which I did, it doesn't work for Dog being asleep then not being asleep unless you leave Dog there until I do the next piece.
There's also the fact that we have also pointed out there's been numerous occasions while they'll mention something, and either something will pop up that doesn't actually go in order anyway when we've poked on it, or there's also the fact that it doesn't even pop up
So
until you
each-
finish everything else, and then the next stuff
I would
cycles
say
up.
each one of these things, I think for me, would make the game flow so much more smoothly and make the animations so much less ridiculous if they simply populated them in the order that they planned them for, or didn't animate each scene individually. Because the thing is if those characters are in a location based on the last task you did, they should, and they don't have any reason to leave it because they have an action there in the next task you're going to do, such as Dog
Right.
should be sleeping. Dog should just continue sleeping and not have dialogue in the other scenes, or this shouldn't unlock till later.
Yep.
I think that would work a lot, so I'm going to add that as a critique for this game.
Yes.
I wish Regina was here to help me with the woodwork on these things. Are you suggesting you're building them yourself from scratch? Because, good job.
Like, dang, dude.
I guess she's busy with a favor for a friend, but I definitely owe her a little free time. And a bunch of money.
Aye.
So I'll just handle this one myself. I'm a big girl, after all.
And we're not
Aye.
even going to engage with the
Whoa.
dog. Bye, dog.
Look at that.
Whoa.
We're not... She's like, I figured out how to get around the woodwork. 50-gallon drums.
That is...
Giant wooden barrels. These are so cool.
That's also cool, but where the fuck did you get those?
I don't know, but this one has succulents, and I kind of dig it. And this one also has a path into, like, entries, which I kind of like more.
sort of cute.
I'm kind of torn.
Yeah, this one kind of has one, I think, here too, but...
Yeah, they both suggest there's a door on this other place, but honestly,
Right.
I think it's just a tri-level kind of thing.
Right.
And so there's only the one door.
Right.
I like the middle one. Gonna do it.
Sure, why not?
Yep. No, Regina needed. I just went and bought giant barrels and cut openings in them and installed tiny doors and windows and... Okay, that is a lot of work, actually, but, here we go!
Again, she knows how to do modeling.
So
Holy shit.
much creation. Also, this style of umbrella, so right in front of her head, that thing is a white umbrella. And what it is it's your, like, basically... I forget what it's called. There's a specific type of umbrella it is where it doesn't have a pole under it, but it's actually got a mast arm over top of it so that you can use the full shade of it. You don't actually have to have a base that gets in the way. Those things require specific balance construction and are a very different kind of engineering thing than a standard stick the umbrella in. So good job.
It's a little intense.
Though Regina still wanted, of course. She had just said straight out, I want Regina. Wanted!
I still think they should date.
I think they
like,
would be
if
adorable.
in regards to all the people that have fucking been in this game and for the amount of crap going on, like, really, there's more actual discussion between, still, regardless of how little the discussion is involved with these characters, more discussion and more character involved with Lily and Regina.
It's true.
Like,
they are the two people that have probably talked the most.
Yes.
Oh, right, Uncle Arthur. Except Lily to herself.
Yes.
Send me a little inspiration, would you? And we have suggested Lily should date herself already.
Yeah. Oh, and
there's a whole episode on that.
She should still date herself on top of dating Regina.
I just want to make you proud. I won't have any more chances to do it because me as myself outside of this estate is not something you're proud of, even though we just established that they're watching, that in your own opinion and your own interpretation, he's been sort of watching over you and this family's been watching over you the whole time and supporting you and essentially unconditionally approving of you. And you even demonstrated to your mom going, the reason they didn't judge you when you did all your shit was because they loved you. And now you're like, you won't have any more chances to be proud of me ever after I finish this. Because you're gonna what? Die?
Too late, my dear!
Everything else you yourself have established out loud has said that that is not true at all. And you are stuck in a depressive, low self-esteem funk right now and you need to think back to your own words. And actually, that's a really good practice, and I point it out to a lot of my friends when they get in a really deep funk and go, this thing will never happen, has never been true, is never an opportunity. And I go, actually, at this time it has. At that time you said, these other times. And it's really helpful to save really positive instances of knowledge about your friends when they were positive about themselves. So when they're feeling super down, you can gently go, here was a time when you felt really good that thing did happen.
This is actually why we as people really think it's very important to engage in some form of what you would call journaling behavior. I know I don't necessarily do it, but I totally get it. Like, there's the records of basically now my friend and I talking here on YouTube, and it's kind of cool that we are able to, because this could be considered a form of journaling, like, really.
Yes.
Like, this is aimed more towards, like, education or comprehension or sharing or fun or whatever else, but it still is basically keeping track of things that could be fun or important or things that basically, like, we had thoughts at the time, but it's like using something like this because the access that we have in regards to media now, again, I know that that's limited because really there still are a ton of people worldwide who do not have a lot of technological access, and that's not their fault. But it's like, if you have the access and you have the ability where it's like, if you don't like writing, try fucking talking into a video or a tape recorder or, you know, something where you can capture something that you say about what happened in your day and realize what you're doing is you're keeping track of something that potentially for later you, that you could look back and go, God, I was having a really fucking good day and I was talking about all these things and I had my thoughts for this. You really have a record of going, I can say to myself that I am awesome.
And the thing is it's really, really important to have records of the good things in your life because often the way like self-esteem and depression works is you're really able to completely deny and retroactively either discredit or
self-eradicate.
I was just say or erase and not think about those memories when you're in a funk. So it can be really valuable. Now sometimes it can be frustrating going, but I don't want to admit that part of my life has been good because I feel so bad right now. But it can also be really empowering going, okay, but that means that I'm being unreasonable right now, which doesn't make me bad. What it does is give me an awareness of that I can choose to do something else. And that if I'm being unreasonable, I can give myself more credit to allow a better and a more accurate picture of who I am.
Right.
Okay. I won't have any more chances to do it. Bah.
Bah.
All right, what are we going to make?
Won't load.
Something that can't load. Last Fairy House can't load.
Oh.
Fairy House is canceled. Whoa.
Mushrooms.
Whoa.
Bam.
Honestly, though, look at this cool little tree.
I know. I'm like, bonsai suddenly?
I know,
what
right?
the shit?
The mushrooms are kind of fun. And then there's a lot of bamboo. I think I like this one a lot. I love that little tree.
All right,
I'm in love with the tiny tree.
No,
on
the
left.
tree adds a lot. Like, the little
does.
mushrooms, while I like the fact that they're there, they're not really interesting.
There's still like a mushroom chim. Like,
No, and they got mushrooms.
They
Yeah,
got
you're
mushrooms.
fine.
I just like that is a huge ass mushroom, and it's got to be completely fake based
Oh,
on the fact that
completely.
you're counting on it staying there.
Mm-hmm.
So mushrooms are the flower of the mushroom plant, and they are not the plant itself. And I think I've mentioned this somewhere else, maybe even in one of these, 120 episodes. I was just say, but mushroom plants are these thin, tiny veins that run either through bark or through, organic mediums of any kind, and then they flower into the mushroom that they produce.
Yes.
And so most of the time, if it is not the right conditions, like in, either humidity or light or seasonally, whatever, they won't be flowering. And that's why sometimes when in an area that's been completely dry with nothing growing there at all, and then you suddenly get a ton of rain, then you get a massive array of mushrooms.
Right.
The thing is you will get those because the basically structure was living there beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And then it finally went, enough resources to bloom. So they're kind of cool in the way that they go really dormant, like cacti a lot.
Right.
And they can go really long periods without water because they can just sort of seal all of those tiny little veins and just kind of sleep until the proper conditions exist.
Right.
Or they can just keep growing and spreading and create huge, massive expanses of mushrooms.
Yes.
All right, there. I think that's pretty good.
I think actually didn't they mention at one point that one of the biggest organisms in the world is actually a fungus?
It's possible, but they keep going. Biggest organism in the world, a tree, biggest organism in the world, a patch of, seaweed, biggest organism in the world. Plants are the biggest, okay? Some plant somewhere is the biggest living thing we got.
It's huge.
All right, that's what we know.
Right.
All right. I hope so. I love you.
All right.
That is super
We're
cute.
lose everything right now.
All right. Oh my God, they're friends.
Aha!
And they are throwing a party together, just like we're gonna be. Lily. Buzz, buzz. Surprise. Stunned. Buzz, buzz. Ah! Can you imagine your mouth involuntarily buzzing and startling you every time? Like, that's an experience to me.
Yes.
Hello?
So excited. Yes! We're gonna
Wow. Hey, Mom. Except for it's, hey, Mom. Because she's not surprised. I just am.
Hey, kiddo. What you up to?
I'm just working on my speech over in my garden.
Oh, makes sense. Well, I just wanted to ask about food for the party.
You already asked if I wanted absolutely anything special at all for this entire party, and I already answered you no, so you can go right ahead. We've already established that you don't need to know how many people are coming, what people like, if there's any restrictions at all. That casual conversation that covered nothing this morning, that did it, Mom.
You just got it. You don't worry. You'll be magical.
Oh, right. Could you pick something up because I assumed that was included before?
That's so generic.
Or
Could
have
you
it-
pick something up?
Or have it delivered or something.
Something. Oh my God.
Oh, right. Can you also handle the food for the party, is what that says in many more words.
Oh, Lordy, that's goddamn funny. I'm on the case. Brilliant. I'm so delighted. I'm going to get to do whatever I want.
What exactly were you setting up before when you said, do I request anything special?
I was going to say, why the fuck
And
is there
also,
a dog here?
if you were handling the party, what did you think that was before food?
Food.
I guess. And because you're not inviting anyone, and I don't know.
I just love a party.
She says again.
Click.
No.
Click, click, click.
Yep, there it is.
Click.
Hi. Hi.
Oh,
Why
God.
do they say click and buzz? I need to know. Doubt you're gonna love this one.
Why do you care about your mom's fucking opinion now? Again, I get the fact that it's like, oh, your mom still cares about you
Look
kind
at
of thing, but I'm
this.
like, your mom still is really kind of abusive.
All right, time to
Anyway.
enjoy the entire garden, all finished, very magical. There's the rainbow, and there's the different fairy houses, and the cute little path to almost be able to sit under the tree.
Well, we still have time. So, thank you very much, guys, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. Got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies, and it was great.
Sorry, I took a drink. I made an error.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!